Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle, and as you can see, I have another cat on the table. I'm here to talk about Botcon exclusives, but Herbie here decided he just wanted to make a quick cameo. And just like that, he's gone. Who knows, he might be back. But welcome to my video. I'm gonna talk about Botcon exclusives, such as these. So these are not the original Botcon exclusives. I'm gonna talk about 6 Botcon and Timelines Transformers Collectors Club exclusives that have been remade, which I think is damn cool. And at the end, I'm going to talk about 8 others that should really be easy for Hasbro to also produce. And I really wish they would. So buckle up, let's talk Botcon. Be right back. All right, so the 2 I have on the table here are Sandstorm and Antagony, but let's go over Sandstorm first. Sandstorm was originally a Botcon exclusive in the year 1999. And I actually did have that at one point. Came in a nice, almost book-style box, and it went in the purge. But this one, which is a repaint of the new Kingdom Scorponok, is actually a really cool toy in and of himself. And I'm surprised that people haven't grabbed onto him a little more than they have. Now, he actually has, instead of the same face, he's got the remolded head, which has the mutant face of the original Scorponok toy. And he is, as I said, pretty darn cool, though you can pop his legs off pretty easily. And just like Scorponok, he can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme, can kick forward. Kicking back is a little more difficult because of the legs in the way, but he still manages. He can do side kicks, he can bend at the knee, his legs swivel around. Great posability on the bottom, though I should pop that back in. His crotch is coming loose. His arms can go all the way around. Again, he's got bends at the elbow, he can swivel. And inside, he's got weapons. He's got 2 missiles here, and he's got a Cyber Bee here, which was pretty much the same as what Scorponok had in the show. But this is the Noble Predacon Sandstorm. Not to be confused with the Triple Changer Sandstorm, not to be confused with the Decepticon Sandstorm. A different character, but just named the same. And again, pretty cool. And the transformation, just like the new Scorponok, is pretty darn clever. He changes to a much more anatomically accurate version of a scorpion, though again, his scorpion tail unable to extend. The original had a little lever and you could shoot forward his tail and it still wouldn't reach the target, but still, Sandstorm is a very cool sand-style scorpion. And again, for someone who had the original, it's nice to have at least the character represented nowadays. Now, again, I've already given away the fact that I have Antagony here, and Antagony actually comes with a head that looks like Inferno's, but in purple, but also an alternate head, which I wanted to put on because that looks way cooler, makes it a much different bot. And of course, you can spread the wings in the back, take the gun, plug it into the center, and Antagony can fly, just like Inferno. Not to be confused with the Autobot Inferno. Yeah, Beast Wars did a lot of using G1 names for definitely characters that were not G1. And of course, full Jean-Claude Van Damme, kicking forward and back, off to the side, bends at the knee, swivels around. Arms can kind of go around all the way, but you got these extra legs here that can cause problems. But the arm does, if you're careful, swivel. You can swivel the arm, bends at the elbow, basically over double, move out to the side. The head turns all the way around, and you can pretty much twist her at the waist. Not all the way around, but from side to side. Oh, there was waist twisting on Sandstorm, sorry. But if you get one, you'll figure it out. And of course, this Transformer changes into not a red fire ant, but a black ant, which you can apparently do the transformation even with the alternate head attached. So she becomes a very cool colored with purple and black ant. And again, this is a little bit more anatomically correct for an ant than the original Inferno / Antagony was. But wait, there's more. The most recent one from the Collectors Club is Nacelle. The Collectors Club version was actually like the classic, but with thrust wings. Very cool figure. And I do have to say, I do love this particular mold. The Siege Seekers, they remind me of Battlestar Galactica Vipers. And so I was not upset to get a new one of these. And of course, all these Seekers do full Jean-Claude Van Damme's. They kick forward, like Rockettes. Back, not so much. Good to the side. Ankle swivels, which all these have ankle swivels. I think you figured that out. Arms can go all the way around if you move the wing out of the way. Bends at the elbow, swivels, twists somewhat at the waist, runs into jet kibble. And the head turns all the way around. As long as you don't stick this plate into the back of their heads, it can turn all the way around. You stick the plate in, it's going nowhere. But I really enjoy this mold, though it is looking a little bit overused at this point. This might be the last one that they're gonna use this particular mold for. Now, I just broke him out. I've had him for a while since he came out, but I hadn't really removed him from the box because I was waiting for the right kind of video to show you guys. And trust me, I have plenty of Transformers to mess around with. But there is Nacelle, looking like a Colonial Viper from Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, you can tell the mold's been slightly overused a little bit. Things don't seem to want to pop quite as easily into place, but he's still cool. I have all these fuckers, including Skywarp, so I'm kind of happy with an extra one. And the fact that I never got the Timelines version. But one that I never had when I started collecting Transformers, well, I started collecting back in the 80s. Then a lot of my Transformers went bye-bye. And I recollected starting in the 90s. And one thing I was never able to get because it was way too expensive was a Botcon Breakdown of the G2 variety. I mean, I wanted to get one and take it out of the package, but when they were like $350, yeah, not gonna happen. And I just didn't even buy the Transformer itself. To get basically a basic for $350, yeah, it was hard to justify. But I did get the Generation 2 Combiner Wars set, which came with Breakdown. So now we have an actual Breakdown. Very similar in coloration, not the same, but definitely looks good in robot mode and much more posable than the original. The foot fist thing, though, not a great weapon. I do like his sword gun, but he bends at the knee, his arms go around, he can twist at the waist. I mean, compared to the original, head goes all the way around. It's amazing. And yeah, you might be familiar with the Breakdown from Combiner Wars. You may even have this one. And if you do, good for you, because the original, whoa, he was just way too expensive. And I'm so glad that I finally got a version of the character, even if it's not the original. Still wouldn't turn down an original. And this one was released originally at Botcon 1994, so it is really awesome that it says 94 Racing right along the hood. A very cool sports car, race car, G2 symbol right there. I'm very glad that we finally got a version of G2 Breakdown without the huge price tag. Another one is Flamewar. Now, I actually still have my Flamewar somewhere. I think it's out in the garage, packed away. And one day I'll break it out because I know at least one of my viewers is missing it and I need to go, no, that'd be mean. Now, Flamewar here is actually supposed to be the shattered glass version, but doesn't really look all that much different than the original coloration of the Botcon exclusive from the Descendant Evil. And comes with this little fire glide dude, who's a little pterodactyl that can become a weapon. And of course, this Flamewar, the original was pretty posable, but was much smaller, and also couldn't really hold the weapon out forward. This one, much more posable, doesn't swivel in the legs, but the arms can go all the way around. Got the nice shield. It's a cool version of Flamewar, even if it is supposed to be a good Decepticon. They could have made her look more good colored, but I guess since she's not an original G1 character, people weren't gonna necessarily recognize her without her flame warish type coloration from Botcon. Still a cool figure. I like the head. It almost looks a little Black Arachnia-like, and it can go all the way around. But it is very cool that a Botcon exclusive that was only available to people who attended, or they might have actually been able to purchase it otherwise, because they did have some like non-attendee packages at some point. But Flamewar is interesting in the fact that she was both released in 2005 and 2014 before this edition. So 2 Botcon exclusives, and then finally a release for the rest of us. I didn't go to 2014, just 2005. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is Nova Prime. And I'm actually not going to do a full review on this guy because there's actually a full video that I did a review, so you can check out Nova Prime. And I even did a full review on the original Timelines, which was, again, a Toy Club exclusive back in 2015, so like 9 years ago. But still, it's very cool that a Collectors Club exclusive, became a toy that we could all get. However, while I appreciate what Hasbro has done, there are more that they could be doing. For example, they just released Silverbolt. They could do a Windrazor, who was a repaint of the original Beast Wars Silverbolt. I mean, it wouldn't look that different. It would be just lighter in color, but I would love one. We got a Rat Trap. Why not a Packrat? We got a Pterosaur. Why not a Fractyl? Packrat versus Fractyl. A blue rat versus a green Pterodon. We need that. Come on, Hasbro. And we already have got one Botcon exclusive that was made from a modern mold. How about Double Punch? For some reason, they decided to use Scorponok again to make Double Punch, who was a Predacon. Now, recently we just got a very small version of Beast Machine's Cheetor. And I would prefer, if they were gonna make this, for it to be deluxe size or whatever, but CatScan, who I think I have in my garage somewhere, the original. But it would be cool to see a CatScan, even if they did a little, you know, Legends itty bitty type 1. But 3 that they could very easily do, well, we need a wind charger, but Rook, Tap Out, and Glyph. Yes, we should get updated versions of these guys that are not Botcon exclusives, that are not keychain versions of our characters, because you can see Rook has a little hook in the front, Glyph and Tap Out have little hooks. That's because these were recolors of the keychains that they were making. I mean, they're cool little homages to G1, but they've made plenty of Cliff Jumpers. Make one in teal. They've made plenty of Bumblebees, remold the head, maybe even just use a gold bug head, which I think they've done a few times. Make it in blue, you have Glyph. And then Wind Charger, I mean, we haven't had one in a little while, but it would be nice to get one. And then put them in gray, and you have Rook, who doesn't like to stand. So that is my kind of shout out to Hasbro for bringing us some Botcon exclusives and Timelines exclusive that if you missed out on them at the convention, this is a great way to get them. But 2 more, Hasbro. Come on. You can do it. Packrat and Fractyl would be awesome. And if you come up with some more molds, you know, they're still like Vice Grip. I mean, you could do a Transmetal Optimus Primal and then make an Ape Link. Or make an Ape Link based on the new Optimus Primal, you know, in the regular Beast mode. You could make so many. Come on, guys. Night Racer would be a breeze. A car in black. Transforms. There you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of acknowledgement of what we've gotten Botcon-wise, and maybe you'll have a little bit more of an appreciation of these guys. Pick one of these up on clearance. I'm pretty sure they're out there, and some of these did not sell as well as they could have, and maybe it's because people didn't realize what they were, or maybe they just prefer the original. I would love to see them do a nacelle based on a thrust body and, you know, make it much more like the original. But that's what I have for now. I'm going to put links to all these guys in the description. Some of them you can get pretty cheap. I'll also put links to the originals, which will not be so cheap. But like I said, I hope you're enjoying these. I enjoy the fact that I actually have Botcon exclusives that didn't cost me an arm and a leg, and ones that I've had before, even though they're not exactly the same mold, and one that I never had before. But while you're mulling these over, go ahead and check out my full review of Nova Prime right over here. And after that, you can search for my review of the other Nova Prime. And if you're enjoying this content, feel free to subscribe. Most of all, I want you to have fun and good hunting.